The coronation of Queen Elizabeth in 1953 was to be the biggest ever television spectacular. The BBC pressed every camera into commission to carry the ceremony to all corners of the kingdom.
So the matter was put to the Prime Minister, who shared the view of the Earl Marshal and the Archbishop that the strain on the Queen would be too great. And he asked the Cabinet their views, and they all agreed with him. So he went to Buckingham Palace for his weekly audience, and he told the Queen that the unanimous view was that the coronation should not be televised inside the Abbey. To which the Queen said, I don't quite know how she put it, but effectively she said, rubbish, of course the coronation will be televised. How could, to have all this and then for the people as a whole not to see it would be ridiculous.
And for the first time in history, through the medium of television, the ancient and noble rite of a coronation service will be witnessed by millions of Her Majesty's subjects.
At the coronation, we were still theoretically working within the rule whereby there were no, what one today would call real close-ups of any member of the royal family. And of course, at the coronation, this would really have spoiled that wonderful shot that we were able to get of Her Majesty as she left the altar. I took a calculated risk, and I put it up on preview, and I looked at Ben Shaw, one of our engineers, and he looked at me.
And I had a censor button, which was there in case of emergency. One reason for the censor button was the rule that there should be no close-ups. Now, the Queen had been crowned. She was coming down the aisle. I can see her now. Gorgeous it was. Bill Wright was on the camera, and she came closer and closer and closer. I looked at Peter, and Peter looked at me, and we both decided it wasn't a close-up. Under no circumstances would I have pushed that censor button. I thought the picture was gorgeous. She was gracious, she looked beautiful, and I will never forget it.
On the day and on many other royal days, Richard Dimbleby was as much a part of the ceremony as the heralds, the trumpeters and the guards.
So, to that stirring music, majesty, splendor and beauty pass from our sight as the Queen goes in her lovely robe out of the nave of the Abbey. History has been written and sung here today, in this worn and beautiful old building, where it has been written and sung for many hundreds of years. But never before have so many seen the crowning of the sovereign, or so many shared in her dedication in this Abbey Church, which in its changing forms has sheltered the crowning of our kings and queens for nigh on 1,000 years.